You can actually hear me better if I put my hand on it.
You can actually.
That's really troubling. Can you hear me? Like if I do this, you can still hear me, but now you can really hear me.
I like you really hearing.
Well, there you go. Well, that's what I would do then is if we're having trouble, everybody put your hand on your mic. Should hear it just fine. How's that even possible? I mean, the device is inside the muffler itself. I hear Mike back there. I wonder if he's commenting on that.
Okay, we're going to call to order the meeting of July 25th, 2023 at 6 p.m. And this is the meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission for the City of Monroe. To start off, we're going to go around the room, and we'd like all the members to introduce themselves speaking into the microphone.
I'm Laura Powell.
I'm Elizabeth Jones. I'm the chair.
Faye Brassey.
Mark Hammis.
Absent is Jane Camp. And now we're going to allow the city staff to introduce themselves.
Brad Callender, Planning and Zoning Director.
Laura Wilson, Code Administration.
Next, we're going to ask for an approval of the agenda as submitted. Has everybody looked at the agenda? Okay. Do we have an approval of the agenda as submitted? Do I have a motion to approve it?
I make a motion to add an update for the Phase 2 of the historic survey.
I'll second the motion.
Anyone else want to add anything or to that? Okay. Laura, did you have something to say?
No.
Okay. Let's see. So we did have a second. You seconded that? Okay. Can I have a vote on that? All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
All right. Looks like it got unanimously passed. Okay. That motion carried. Now let's look at the next on the agenda. We have the minutes, approval of the minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look at the minutes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Just do that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
That motion is unanimously approved. All right, motion carried. Next on the agenda, let's go scroll down here. It looks like we don't have any old business, so we're going to move on to new business. It looks like we have a request for COA 126 West 5th Street exterior changes. I'll ask the applicant to approach the podium, state their name and request, and I think Laura will probably want to go over this on the screen.
Yes, let me just give you a brief overview here of 126 West 5th Street. It's in the Monroe and Walton Mills Historic District. It's at the corner of 5th and Barrett. You got a picture of the front facade, and the applicant is requesting to make several exterior changes involving porches, doors, and windows. Here are some of the images the applicant provided. So we'd like to replace the front porch flooring, and I think maybe some of the posts might be a little bit rotted. He's requesting to remove one of the windows, I believe on the Barrett Street side. And on the rear, he would like to move the door. So there's the door where the current porch is. He would like to move it over here and extend the porch this way. And I believe either close in this altogether or possibly add a window. It wasn't clear on that. And then, wrong way. So, yep, that is what I have for 126 West 5th.
Get a little closer to the microphone. Could you tell us a little bit about your application and your request?
Well, it's it's one of the mill houses. When we bought it, It was advertised as a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, but one of the bedrooms was only 6 by 8 feet. So we're having to make some interior changes to make it a true 2-bedroom home. And, you know, of course, the outside has been neglected for years, and, you know, we just need to make some changes and updates that were there too.
Okay, I wasn't really clear on the window and,
Well, the window with the new layout interior, there, a wall ends up right in the middle of that window. In order to make it a 2-bedroom, there's an interior wall that's actually right in the middle of that window now on the inside of the house. So we would prefer to
The
do away with
window-
it.
Could the window be moved?
It can. It can.
I
It's just
wouldn't
that
have a
room
problem
is,
If you move it, but to
Yeah.
take it out,
no, we thought about it, but it's just, that room is so small.
I
And
understand.
the windows are so big in that house, there's really not a lot of room to put furniture once you move it, but we can. Yeah, that's what I just said. It just changes the interior of the house when we do that.
That's the problem. We have to work with the exterior of the house, and it would ruin the, I think if we take out that window.
Okay.
That particular window.
So we just move it down a couple feet?
We'll just discuss it. We hadn't voted on
Okay.
it. But as we're discussing it, that would be my thought, that moving it down would not be a problem.
Okay.
Because you'd still have better balance, actually. Maybe. But you see, if you took it out, what a void you'd have, and it wouldn't be accurate for the building.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to explain the back. That was another thing.
The rear, where the back door is now, is the master bedroom. And where the door, where I want to put it, is the kitchen and den area. So we just want to move it
Where we
down.
move it, I can't, Laura?
It's written on, it says new deck.
I know that, but I don't see, the door is gonna be the window.
So that's old, where the current master bedroom is. This is the proposed where the kitchen is.
Okay,
And then you said you're going to extend the deck this way?
okay.
Correct, yeah, we were gonna do a 10 by 12 new deck. Obviously, the one that's there is
that seems,
no good. So we're just gonna move that down to the middle of the house.
okay.
Okay, can we go back to the front now? Thank you. All right, you're gonna change those posts?
We're just gonna replace
Not with two by
the
fours,
floor,
please.
the floor.
Oh, you're not gonna change the posts, the two by fours?
They're 4x4s.
Four by
Uh,
fours,
I
whatever they
mean,
are.
we can leave them if you like.
They could be beefed up, don't y'all think? They've been added sometime, they're very small in proportion to the house.
Right, yeah, oh, they are, sure, for
But I
sure.
think they could be beefed up a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, I have no problem with that.
But they still need to be painted, because it's, you know,
Well,
you're putting it back.
Faye, we
what you
can't,
are.
Faye, we
No,
don't,
you're
we
putting
don't,
it
but
back
we
to
don't,
what you are.
we don't discuss
The
paint.
lady said we could say paint if it's been painted. That's what we've been saying, she
Same
told me.
size,
But it could be beefed up,
as is.
Okay.
and the door on the side is moved.
Also, I don't know if it came up, the house, like so many over there, has 2 front doors.
Yeah.
And we don't need the one that's on the side.
Right.
Because it walks into a bedroom, so I need to close that in.
I don't have,
And we have enough siding that we found on a deck extension that matches the outside, so we could fill that door in with that.
I don't have a problem with that.
Does anyone else on the panel have a question or a comment?
Yeah,
Laura?
I think
Mark?
this will be a great,
think, yeah,
yeah, like upgrade. I do think the window just being moved, though, it needs balance
can do
on
that.
that
Yeah,
wall.
we can
That's
do
the
that.
only thing.
I would agree with that, if you could just keep the window and move it over a little bit. Do I have a motion?
The good thing
Yeah, we
is you
can do
don't
that.
have to do a balustrade on this one.
There you go.
So I'll make a motion to approve with the window being shifted to the side.
Okay.
As discussed.
I second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you all very much.
motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming in.
We didn't beef up the posts. I was gonna say, they all look the same on the street, so I don't know if that's an issue or not.
We haven't updated our, we haven't.
They all look identical to what's there now. huge issue, is it?
We don't, we require it not to be.
Okay, so moving on to the second agenda item.
Okay, so our next, our added agenda item is, Laura, the Historic Preservation Grant, correct?
Yes, so I participated in a Zoom meeting this afternoon, which is it was the official kickoff of the grant for DCA, and they sent out a bunch of paperwork for us, which is always nice when you're dealing with a grant. And you have two of the items in front of you. One is, they're calling it a rate of pay verification for donated labor. Now, our grant, and with the city, we are lucky enough that we have enough cash for matching. This is a 60-40% matching grant, so DCA will reimburse the city for 60% of the expenses. However, if there are funds left over in the grant cycle, people who overmatch are eligible to receive more funds. So I would like each of you to keep track of your hours that you put in for the grant, either through educational programs that we might do, or reviewing materials that the consultant sends for us and providing comments. That way I can submit it at the end of the grant as donated labor and potentially get the city some more funds.
Does that count on the hours we put into like letters for the grant?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a very wide range of what counts, and so far, everything that has been asked has been submitted. Like, anything you can possibly do with this grant, they will count.
Is that retroactive, like per year? I mean, like, did we count all the time we put into the initial grants, like for what we had when we wrote it per year?
So for this time frame, it will start from, I think, when we initially contracted with WLA, and I'll have to get the exact date, and it will run through October of '25.
Right, because, because,
Yeah.
I mean, we worked on that grant and wrote it, so that would be, especially like the first go-round, that would be a lot of hours put in.
Yeah. Also, the first document here, it says rate of pay, and I would like each of you to look at the labor type and the description and make a note of where you think you fall in there for the rate of pay, because I have to submit this to DCA. So I guess where you guys think you fall on the valued labor scale. And if you have any questions about that, we can talk about it and come up with verification and everything like that. So
That sounds good.
that's all I have.
Do you want us to email you?
Yes, that would be great.
Does anyone have any questions?
So, and I have these documents digitally as well that I can send you.
Thank you for this.
We're having a meeting on this soon.
Well, we're going to email Laura any questions we have and discuss this with her by email, or we could probably call her too if we had any questions.
Yeah, I believe the first draft, so 25% of the survey, I think, is due to DCA in November, so we will probably have something on the October meeting about it, because I hope to get it to you ahead of time before then, so.
And tell me what we're going to be doing.
So first of all, you will be reviewing the survey that WLA does. So I'd like you to check it for if you think they're right with their style or right with the history of the house or the area, particularly the area. That's going to be pretty important to get right. So, yep.
We might need to get some other volunteers too from the community to help with that, don't you think?
Definitely, if you have anybody in
I know we
mind.
had talked about that before, maybe getting some people, maybe from the museum or the Historic Society, just some different people to kind of come together as groups, to kind of help review that.
Yeah, anybody we'd like for community buy-in, we can send it.
I mean, especially getting, Brown back, Susan Brown, and maybe even,
Just get a whole group of people together, and that would
that are
count, that would
qualified.
count toward that
Yes.
labor. If we could get a whole committee together to do that and meet on certain days, like throughout the month, just to kind of go through it together, like put a whole committee together to go through it, I think, maybe.
It would definitely count as education outreach as well.
Yeah, that might be good. But of people that are historically, you know, like oriented, you know,
Right,
from the
right.
museum and the Historic Society that have that education, you know, or that buy-in, that are interested in that, you know?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Do we have a local architect?
Well, we do have people in that. Well, you know, I mean, I would think Dexter might even be interested in this. I mean, what do you think?
Who's Dexter?
Adams.
I don't know who Dexter is.
He's on the museum board, so.
Sorry, I don't deal with the many
But he's,
architects.
he's retired from the University of Georgia.
He might be interested in participating, so.
Yeah.
You know who that is?
There are a few people that are on the museum board that might be interested in participating, so.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, but anybody else have anything to add? No? Okay then, do we want to have an adjournment?
I make a motion to
I
adjourn.
did want to mention that the appeal of your decision to deny the permit for demolition at 1251 South Madison was upheld by the city council.
Right, wonderful for that support.
Thank you for mentioning that. That being said, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This concludes the HPC meeting of July 25th, 2023. We are adjourned.